Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of From the Rough America. Hello, everybody. Let's try that again.
Take two, bud.
Hello, everybody. Let's get the volume up. Hello, everybody. Welcome into another edition of From the Rough, America's favorite golf podcast. God almighty, I need a board up is what I need over here.
Something.
Jeez, you go do another shot, Tim, before we start. Well, look, I didn't even do a shot, and look what happened.
Well, I thought you were a responsible adult. Well, sorry. I thought you were an adult. Responsible and adult to you is two different things. I thought you were an adult that can handle.
You've known me for like 5 years. Why or longer? Why would you ever think I was responsible for anything?
Well, fact, we've known each other a lot longer than 5 years. You just
That's what I
tried
said. Longer.
Well, I think it's probably more like 8, but 3 of them are a blur. So that's probably about right.
What, you think only 3 are a blur, or is that just for you?
Well, maybe 3 are a blur, and then like 1 you didn't like me very much, like for the whole first year.
No, it was just the first time, the first one time.
Well, that sounds like a year. My first time is usually a year.
When you're at in the restaurant celebrating our mutual friend's birthday. Wife's birthday. It was his wife's birthday, and you're sitting across from me at the table of like 30 people, and you're wearing your sunglasses inside in the restaurant.
It was a al fresco restaurant. That's
and then
one of those outside deals, right?
No, we were inside. There wasn't outside, but we were inside. But then I'm sitting next to my sainted ex-wife and I'm like, all right, I'm going to talk to this guy because I know he's one of Lance's buddies. And I put an olive branch across the table and I said, hey, man, are you Johnny? Lance talks a lot about you. You literally.
You froze. See, that's what happens when you talk garbage. You froze up.
All right, we got to start this all over again.
Start from the beginning, please. What happened?
The power went out in the building.
Your mic, your camera is super fuzzy too.
Oh, it's probably just everything's catching up. It looks fine on my end right now, but
yeah,
the power went off in the building, shut the computer off, shut the board off.
Start again.
All sorts of things. So
start from the beginning.
Over here. I apologize to all the fine folks that were looking forward to some really deep Masters conversation. Good thing we hadn't gotten to Masters yet.
That's right.
But look, yeah, let's start the show over. Do you want to?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, we'll just pretend like none of this ever happened. As we get back,
everyone that's watching, we are sorry.
Lots of people watching, like 150 people already. So let's do it all again.
Try it.
Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports.
Hello, everybody. Welcome into another edition, another edition of From the Rough right here on FanStream Sports. I'm still IndyCarTim. That's still PGA of America member Johnny Gerber as we fight through these technical difficulties for our 89th Masters preview.
We need it.
See, this is what happens when we try to go on an hour early. Maybe it just wasn't meant to be.
Well, we do. I promise you, I paid the bills, but they're not really structured. We have such a big following, and we have so many people watching. It just overflowed the board. It's just sometimes that's what happens. It just overflowed the board, and we apologize to everybody. We will start take two. See that probably, or you're about to talk some shit on me.
I was,
and that's
should
why.
I continue with that? When we were talking, let's recap that. Yeah, because
we'll just move on. We'll just move on.
We were talking about the first time I ever met Johnny in Fort Worth, Texas, at a mutual friend's wife's birthday party, and we go and we're placed at this big long table. Never met him before, heard about him, and he's sitting across the table from me in his sunglasses. First of all,
it was outside.
No, we were inside. It was not outside. And we're inside, and he's across the table from me. And I looked at Lauren and I said, "Hey, I think that's Lance's friend Johnny. I've never met him. I'm gonna say something to him." And I said, "Hey, are you Johnny? I'm Tim. You know, Lance talks a lot about you. It's good to finally meet you." You literally looked at me from across the table. You lowered your sunglasses down and you looked over your sunglasses at me and you said, "Look, son, I don't know who you are, but if you ever talk to me again, I will kill you." And you put your sunglasses back up and you went back to your beans and rice. Or whatever.
I promise you that didn't happen because that's not me at all. First off, second off, don't listen. This is Masters preview. That is bull. You know that's bull. You're like, "Hey man, you know I heard a lot about you. You're just the coolest dude in the world. I really like those sunglasses. I want to be just like you. Let's do some business together. Let's start a show." Yeah, that happened somewhere in the middle, right? Somewhere in the middle. I didn't like
those sunglasses either, by the way. It was not
everything else though was right. Everything else was right. Yeah.
No, but that was the first time we met, and then you got involved with our stupid drunk show, and we did some golf shows, and here we are. From the rough.
We are 40 shows later, millions and millions of followers, and
way more than that.
Yeah.
Probably 100 shows in by now.
Yeah, well, in terms of different shows, right? Different shows. We've been very lucky from FanStream Sports, developing FanStream Sports, developing studios around the country. So it's been a great 5 years so far, and hopefully we'll continue to build on the greatness that we're doing. And we appreciate everyone out there, all the fans, all the listeners. We want to make this a great master show. So please, Tim, give them the text line. We want to see your thoughts on the Masters. Please text in. Please give us some Masters picks. We'd love to hear Masters picks. And I'll tell you where you're wrong after we kind of get into ours. And Tim's got some Masters picks. They're not going to be correct, as they never are.
I didn't do picks this week.
Oh, no, we have to come up with
I didn't want to do a disservice.
No, special 2-hour show. Well, every week is a disservice, so it doesn't really make that much difference.
Yeah, I don't care about the other tournaments, though.
A great 2-hour show for you guys for Masters preview. Great week. Are you one of those guys? I mean, I know you're a golf guy, but not like a pro, not like a PGA guy. I've been around this all my life. And are you one of those guys that doesn't sleep before the Masters? Like where you'll get up and you'll just be restless and you'll wake up in the morning and hopefully try to find the coverage on the Golf Channel and things like that.
Yeah. So I printed off yesterday. Or it may have been early this morning, all the tee times. Printed off at Central, and it's like 6:40 a.m., I think, 6:20 a.m., I can't remember what it is. And I've got it posted there next to my TV in my bedroom at home. For the last 3 days, I have 2 TVs in my bedroom, and one of them has been constantly devoted to Golf Channel live from the Masters, because that's what they do this week. Yeah. And I've been watching today. It was all the par 3, and good God, man. How great is that whole par 3 thing? Like, it's so much fun to watch because it's all about family. The guys are out there with their wives and their kids, and they're all dressed up in the white caddy jumpsuits. And it's like the coolest image to watch on TV, right? And then who was it? We had Keegan Bradley make a hole-in-one. We saw Tom Hoge hit a hole-in-one. And then they turn around and their kids are all jumping up and down and everything. it's one of the coolest things to watch on TV, and one of the coolest things that they do at the Masters ahead of the Thursday, first round. And, even going back now I talked about this on Monday quite a bit. I watched the women's amateur when it was on, and it was an event. I love it. It's the 5th year they've done that. And I'm glued to the TV every year that is on. And then Johnny, we haven't talked about this. I even got into the, the drive, chip and putt championship.
It's great.
And I'm talking drama with these kids. Like I was watching the finals. I talked about this a little bit on the Monday recap last week, if you guys got a chance to tune into that. But in the girls, I think 7-9 putting final, the championship, you had these two girls, and what they do is they'll do a 30-foot putt and they do a 15-foot putt. And then they take the total of the distance of the two putts, the least amount wins, right? So both girls made the 30-foot putt.
Yeah. Yeah.
They get up on the 15-foot putt. The first girl's up there, and she was, I guess, the favorite, if they have those, but she lipped it out to about 4 inches. And, everybody's just like, oh, my gosh. And the announcers, they're treating this like the Masters, and they should, because it is for these kids, right? And their dads are there, their coaches. There's patrons everywhere. It's amazing. Then the second girl gets up there. She hits her 15-foot putt, lips it out to the exact same spot as the first girl. Like it looked like a tie. Right. And the announcers are like, dude, we can't, I have no idea. And they did a side-by-side shot of where both putts stopped, and you couldn't tell. So they had to wait. Like, I guess they do a digital measurement, and the first girl ended up winning by less than half of an inch based on their digital measurements.
And you're supposed to give them both that, right? I mean, at that point, I mean, I'm not a big
call them co-champions.
Yeah, I'm not a participation trophy guy, right? I mean, I'm not, hey, you finished 10th, man, here's a medal and let's go to Dairy Queen. Yeah. I'm not that guy by any means, but that's never happened. So you kind of look at that. Wouldn't it, like, did you see the one where the kids, they were like 12 years old, the one kid won and then the other kid ran up and hit him?
No, I didn't see that.
I didn't see it either, but that would be kind of cool if that happened, right? No, that didn't happen. That'd be cool.
Yeah, they may never play golf ever again.
Yeah, well, certainly wouldn't be back in Augusta. That guy won. The kid won. He went to shake his hand, and he did like a what's that? LeGarrette Blunt.
Oh, LeGarrette Blunt.
He ran up and just snuck him and knocked him out. What was that? Oregon Boise State game? Yeah, that would be great. Well, he played in the league for a long time.
He did. He was a Patriot for a long time.
Hey, man,
his kid just got a scholarship to Colorado.
Oh, is that right?
Deion signed his kid. Yeah,
that's fitting.
It's right.
Yeah, that's
what
fitting.
I thought too.
Yeah, that's fitting.
But boys and girls, it is Masters week. It is my favorite week, golf week of the season. As we talk about constantly, because I always prop the Masters up with every tournament. But it's finally here. My golf pants have been going crazy all week with anticipation. We're now 12, 13, we're 14 hours about away from the first tee. And who is it? It's Jack, it's Gary and Tom.
Jack, Gary and Tom. Yeah.
For the first tee to get it going, the ceremonial starters. And we also have a final Masters for Bernhard Langer, who called it quits, or who will call it quits at the age of 67. And we talked about him a little bit on the JP Peterson show. Or no, it was me and JP and Bob Herrig came on, and we talked about Bernhard a little bit, about how still competitive he still is over on the Champions Tour at the age of 67. How a lot of these guys, they start to fade away after 55 or 58 because of the younger kids at 50, right, coming on and qualifying for placement there. But how long he just won this year still. So, I mean, he's still clearly competitive, and I'm sure he'll still continue that. He's just not going to play in the Masters anymore, which he's one of my favorites, man. Yeah,
he just can't hit it. He can't hit it far enough, right? I mean, that's the only thing with him. But the Champions Tour playing 6,800-yard golf courses, he can certainly compete. But it just goes to show the guy has kept himself. He's always been a guy that's always fit, you know. So that was one of those things. You know, when I was playing over in Europe, that he was. You know, I lived in Germany for a little while, and that was his kind of he was the stalwart over there on the PGA Tour in the late
Right.
90s and things like that. And he was always fit, and he was always the nicest guy. Playing in some of those events that he played in, he was always the nicest guy ever. So, but that just is a testitude of, the guy just loves he had his three things that he loved in life. He has his faith, he has his family, and he has his golf, right? So, and his fitness is part of that whole deal. And that's, he had always carried himself well. I mean, he was the second European to ever win the Masters next to Seve. Seve was the first European to win the Masters. So, he carried on that tradition. And he, if you look at some other up and coming German players that kind of came up, like, obviously Martin Keimer is the guy that you hear of first, but there was a lot of other really good German players that came up before him, before Keimer. I mean, he grew up in Germany mainly, but he was Czech, German. Alex Cheka was a guy that kind of, Bernhard was his mentor a little bit. So you have that whole realm of German players, and there still might be some more guys that's coming up.
Sure.
That want to follow in Bernhard Longer's footsteps.
And the very first Masters I can remember because keep in mind, my dad wasn't a golfer, wasn't into golf. I think he'd watched some of the majors. I don't remember him ever watching the Masters, but he watched the U.S. Open religiously, I think. And his favorite golfer, I think for a long time, was Lee Trevino. It's kind of where my love for Lee came from, hearing my dad talk about him. But the first Masters I can remember watching start to finish and being really, really into as a sporting event was 1985. I had kind of just started playing golf. I was getting ready to try out for the high school golf team. And for some reason, I just got glued to the TV, to CBS for the Masters that year. And, Bernhard Longer won it. Then I got to watch him win it again in 93. But so that Masters and him being the winner that year will always kind of hold a special place in my heart, and that's just one of my earliest memories of watching a tournament like that start to finish. And it's just kind of continued, it seems like it was 5 years ago. It doesn't seem like it was that long ago. Sure. But all these guys are just, are like me. They're old now, and it's time moves on, and we got new guys now.
You are old. That is fact.
I just turned 54 on Monday. And you know what, though? I don't feel a day over 80.
That is true.
Just my knees and my back tell me every day.
You look a hell of a lot older than that, but that's okay. I mean, it's just part of the deal.
No, you're the only one that thinks that.
Well, I mean,
because I constantly get, how old are you? And I say, guess. And it's, 45.
Well, they just don't want to hurt your feelings.
I said, well, add 100 years to that and you're close.
Did you ask them, what do you work at the fair? You guess ages and weights and get a stuffed animal, or what? Is that how that works?
They'd be out of a job if that was the case.
Well, they're just trying to make you feel good. They feel a little sorry for you. It's just like you do with women. There's never a right answer when a woman asks, hey, guess how old I don't answer those questions.
Look, if they ask the question, I'm very honest. You don't look a day over 53. And she's like, I'm 38. Well, sorry. See you later.
I made that mistake one time about a lady I met. And I asked her, I can't even say this on the air, so we'll talk about it at break. Probably it was pretty rude, rude to me. I asked her how much longer does she have before has her baby.
Oh, Johnny, rookie mistake.
That was the younger Johnny. I was a younger Johnny.
That sounds like you and waterbed stories. What that sounds like.
No, he'd be more straightforward than me. I wouldn't even ask her. He would just go straight up to her. Hey, when you dropping that thing?
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Hello, John Hill to you. Good luck, Oberg. You are absolutely correct. We'll be following Oberg. Got to see him play a little bit in the par 3 thing today. Got to see an interview with his, girlfriend. Who's also was a tennis player at Texas Tech, and I can't remember her name, but I remember covering her at the time, and I didn't even know they were together. But super hot.
Yeah.
So Oberg might have to be on my list alongside Davis Thompson.
Yeah. Thanks for jumping on, John. Yeah, that's a really good pick. I just don't like the form he's coming into. I mean, obviously, second Masters, he's going to have some experience. I like the way he talked in his press conference.
Yeah.
I just don't like the form he was coming up last year. Sometimes going to Augusta, there's a reason why that's only been really one time, first time. And last year he had a chance finishing second. We'll see. We'll see. I certainly like his game, and I certainly he'll have an opportunity maybe down the road to win. The Augusta fits him for sure. I just don't know if this is the year. But John, thanks for the comment. John had a winner a few weeks ago, so he's a
Yeah.
loyal fan of the show. Always jumps in. So again, if you guys, any other guys want to jump in, have some questions, we do have some guests on tonight. We have some great guests. We have PGA of America member and general manager at the retreat, Chris Kohler, jumping on at 4:45, and we have the golf professional at the Ohio State University, PGA member Rob Robinson will be jumping on about 5:30. They're going to talk about the little Masters highlights or some Masters memories that they have, maybe give us a few picks, and it's going to be one of those shows we're going to get to where we love to have all your guys' comments and jump on and talk about maybe some of your memories of the Masters and some of your wrong picks for the Masters, because all mine are right. If
I give Rob a kind of under my breath, barely audible "Go Blue," think he'd be okay with that?
Yeah, he went to Mississippi State. He didn't go to Ohio State. He just works at the golf course.
He works there, though. I mean, you got to have a little loyalty.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I think the only loyalty is when they see the checks that's signed to him. I mean, other than that, I think he's good. About. Yeah, I don't think he's a big Duke fan. His dad played sports at Duke, so he might be a little hurt. That's why I gave him a couple extra days after the national championship.
Right. Maybe we'll talk to him a little bit about Neil Shipley as he embarks on his pro career here.
Yeah, he's got some great Neil stories.
But Johnny, it is the 89th Masters this week at Augusta National, and there might as well be like 89 different storylines to go along with it, because there's a lot of notable names, of course, rounding into form here. The 2025 PGA Tour season now enters its first major with names of numerous golfers peaking at the precise right time, just as the azaleas are starting to bloom. Those are azaleas. I got to plant some azaleas in my backyard just as a tribute, right? And then I'll go hack them with my gap wedge. Just pretend like I'm at Augusta.
Were you like Caddyshack? Like going out there and Carl Spankler?
Yeah, me and Carl Spankler.
You guys look alike.
What are you talking about?
Something like that.
I need a bucket hats when I need.
You do that.
One of the biggest names is Rory McIlroy as he rolls into Georgia with a huge amount of momentum at his back and the weight of a mountain on his shoulders. He is still seeking to become the sixth player to complete the career Grand Slam. His march to Augusta across the first 3 months of the season has been just about perfect, only turning up the volume on the discussion of can he win finally his career Grand Slam. He's hardly the only golfer, though, that's being talked about because, of course, world number one. How he's still world number one is beyond me, but that's a segment for another day. As our buddy
Scotty Scheffler
has a chance to join rare company by winning a third green jacket in 4 years. World number 3, Xander Schauffele, could join perhaps the rarest company imaginable. Brooks Koepka, Bryson DeChambeau, John Rahm, all of those live golf idiots have a shot to win. Well, I wouldn't say John Rahm's got a shot to win, but I don't know what's happened to his game. He might not remember what it's like to play 4 rounds of golf. I don't think. I think the other two, Koepka and DeChambeau, probably will be fine. But either way, it's going to be entertaining to watch these guys, and to figure out who's got the best shot. And we'll know after Thursday who's got their game at Augusta and who doesn't. But there are 9 most captivating storylines entering the 89th Masters to kick off the tournament at just the most absolute perfect golf course in the history of the world at Augusta National. And we're going to cover some of those 9 storylines throughout the next hour and a half here on From the Rough. We've got some information and some news from Tiger and Augusta National Chairman Fred Ridley that was announced on Monday. I covered a little bit of this on my Monday show. I have to do a shot here in the next break.
Please do.
That we talked about and said that we would probably cover a little bit of it on Monday or on Wednesday. I wanted Johnny's thoughts on some of this. So we're going to talk a little bit about that big announcement between Augusta, Fred Ridley, Tiger, and his TGR design firm, and how that's going to affect Augusta National. And then all of those storylines are guests that Johnny mentioned. Of course, the general manager at the Retreat Golf Club in Cleburne, Texas, Chris Kohler, will join us here shortly. And Rob Robinson, PGA member and golf professional at the Ohio State University Golf Club in Columbus, Ohio, will join us a little bit later in the show, all to talk about the 89th Masters, which is now just 14 or so hours away from us. We'll come back, talk about all of that and more right here on FanStream Sports. I'm IndyCarTim. That's Johnny. We'll be back.
Hello, sports fans. FanStream Sports.
Today's show is brought to you by Tom's Town, a premier craft distillery based in Kansas City, Missouri. Discover their award-winning lineup, including double oaked bourbon, botanical gin, and double grain vodka. Named the best craft vodka by the readers of USA Today. Available for online delivery in 40 states. Visit toms-town.com or their Kansas City distillery to explore more. Elevate your game with Tom's Town, where history meets innovation. Please enjoy responsibly.
All right, guys, time to talk a little bit about Turf Life. You've seen the hats on our heads. You've been or seen the video of the studio. You've seen that the decals are all over the place. Turf Life. Man, it's the brand that salutes the consumer and industry players everywhere whose lives involve turf. What does that mean? That means if you play or have a business or, maybe you're a sports educator, you're going to be on turf at some point. So you live the turf life. So go ahead and tell everybody you live the turf life by having your Turf Life window decal or, the hat or the keychain or the something. Along that lines, just go to turflifeclub.com and become a turf head. That's what it's called when you live the turf life. You're now a turf head. And you can go join the club today, snag that window decal, or snag any other special Turf Life accessories and go over there to that website, which is turflifeclub.com, and get your stuff and show everybody that, man, I'm all about that turf life. And then you just kind of raise your coffee mug at them and go, yeah, turf life, baby. That's what it's about. And then that's the end of the commercial. Ding. That means it's done in microwave talk.
Hi, golfers. IndyCarTim here. I want to talk to you a little bit about Golf Central Magazine. It's not just a golf magazine. It's the magazine for everything. Turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Head over to golfcentralmag.com and check out the latest issue. Some of the regular features in Golf Central Magazine: the Golf Bachelorette of the Month, the Golf Bachelor of the Month, the Golf Cart Girl of the Month, Golf History, Grip It and Sip It. So head over to golfcentralmag.com. It's free. It's the magazine for everything: turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Golf Central Magazine at golfcentralmag.com. We'll see you there.
For more than 3 decades, Bob's Steak and Chop House has remained an icon of DFW restaurants. Why? Well, maybe it's because of Bob. He's fanatical about cleanliness and friendliness, and his food, oh my Lord, his food. If you've been there, you know about it. If you haven't been there, you should know about it. The original Bob welcomes you at either of his 2 locations, Bob's on Lemon Avenue or the sparkling new Bob's at Craig Ranch, McKinney.
Hey, listeners, make sure you check out the brand new FanStream Sports in-studio text line. You can reach us during any of our live shows or 24/7 at 214-937-0569. That's 214-937-0569. Text us 24/7 day or night, and we'll reply to you and make you part of the show. Orion Golf Management Solutions. Orion Management Solutions has tailored its service packages just like it tailors its approach to customers. Some owners need more supervision, while others need periodic assessment of their short-term and long-term strategies and programs. Orion can be called in to develop a business plan with the existing staff, or we can assist with the daily management of a facility or event. Either way, we make sure the client is satisfied and understands the direction the facility needs to go in order to achieve the owner's goals. Orion Management Solutions can help with owner assistance service solutions, daily course management, business plan development, monthly operations, or as-needed consulting services. Whatever your need, Orion Golf Management Solutions can help. Check out oriongolf.com.
Coming back at you. Now, more FanStream Sports.
Welcome back to From the Rough right here on FanStream Sports. I'm IndyCarTim. That is Johnny Gerber, or as I dubbed him last week this week on the Monday recap, John D. Gerberfeller.
I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
It means you have a lot of money.
Okay, well, there you go.
And you like oil.
Okay.
I guess. I don't know.
Something.
I just thought it was funny.
At least one of those two are right.
You like oil?
Yeah.
That must be what it is. It is the 89th Masters week, and it is a religious week for me, as all things halt other than the Masters and other than golf. All TVs are on golf. Here in Dallas, it's a big deal Wednesday night as Luka, the highly overrated Luka Doncic, makes his way back to Dallas to the AAC for the first time since being rightfully traded away to the Lakers. So that's a big story here in Dallas. And you know what? I don't even care. I hope he twists his ankle and is done for the year.
You think the GM's going to go to the game?
Nico will not be there. By the way, Nico was right. Something I'm starting on X, my trending hashtag.
Well, I'm not, this show, listen, everyone knows is watch this show, the loyal followers, great, love it. This is just not a golf show. We can give dating advice. We talk about all sports. Tim will get divorce advice. So he's been there for.
Yeah, I know how to divorce.
He can tell you how to make babies because he's got 14 of them. Between him and Tony Finau, they got a football team. They got a football team between him and Tony Finau. So there you go. Steven Yeager. Get it, Steven Yeager. That being said, I'm not completely disagreeing with you on the Luka trade.
One for me, one for you.
Thank you. I don't do shots, but I didn't think they got enough for him.
No, I didn't either. But I had no problem with him being traded.
Yeah, no. And if you look at last night, what happened last night, everybody wants to complain and all that stuff. But listen, that double technical and got thrown out of the game. These things and all the antics that Luka does, and I like Luka as a player. Trust me, I do. I think he's. Prodigy's probably wrong. He will go down as one of the top 25 best players probably ever to play in the NBA. Sure. These are facts. But you build up all the antics that he does, the refs, the players, everybody. He wasn't well liked in Dallas by players.
No.
I mean, they'll tell you that. I mean, he was lazy. You could tell out of shape he was. I mean, I know players that will say that. They might not say it on camera, but they'll tell me these things. It builds up. You can't cry, complain all the time, yell at refs, do all this, be just a baby. Those things build up in terms of.
They don't endear you to your teammates or the fan base at all.
Well, not only that is with the referees, especially. You think that if that was the first time that ever happened to that one referee, you think he was going to get thrown out of the game? No, probably not. They're tired of him just like his teammates were. They just were. It just is, and he has built that up. So like I said, do I think he's a fantastic player? Do I like watching him play, cry and complain all the time? No, he's not a good watch for me.
Nobody likes that.
So. Like I said, but again, and in terms of that trade, I just don't think that they got enough for him with the injury riddled, Anthony Davis. I just think the capital and the stock that they got back for him just didn't warrant it. And how it kind of went down, right? I mean, you're in trades with one person. There was no negotiation in terms of leveraging things with other teams, or maybe there was, and nobody just wanted him, right? And maybe that's one of the reasons Nico settled for what he got, because he didn't get any better offers, which I don't believe that. I do think it was botched. So sure. I do think the trade was botched, but I had no problem whatsoever with Luka leaving town. That does not hurt my feelings at all. And you know what? I've watched more Mavericks basketball since he left. But, I agree. It doesn't make Dallas a better team right now. It just doesn't. But were they going to pay him the Supermax anyways? I mean, that's a hard thing.
No, they weren't.
To pick.
No.
Yeah. So might as well get something for him as opposed to getting nothing for him when you can't sign him to a Supermax.
B chimes in. Stu's burner here. Yes, B. We know we know that you're Stu's burner. Stu Sternberg is who we're talking about, Johnny. If you're not familiar with B from the JP Peterson show, but the question here is, B, who do you have to win the Masters? John Hill gave us his pick of Ludwig Oberg. Who does Stu's burner want to win the Masters, B? Keep us surprised there. And for all of you guys watching or listening live on the FanStream Sports mobile app right now, or listening later to the recorded podcast, you can interact with us too. 214-937-0569 is our studio text line. Use it 24/7. Save it in your phone. Just make sure you let us know who you are, where you're texting from, and what you want to talk about. So we would love to hear from you at all times on all of our shows here on FanStream Sports Dallas, FanStream Sports Tampa Bay, FanStream Sports Ohio, and coming soon, FanStream Sports Kansas City, as we become a national brand across the sports and pop culture world for FanStream Sports. B's going to take the cop-out route, and he's going Scottie Scheffler is who he thinks is going to win the Masters.
Way to go out on a limb, B. That's for sure. Go ahead and bet that, and leverage your $1 to make 101 back. Right, if that's how you really want to do it. I know you listen to the show, so take my advice in terms of value is zero there. He might win, and I don't know what you do, Stu, for work, but if you just want to if you want to brag about your buddies that you pick Scottie Scheffler to win, good for you. I mean, that's fine. I mean, that's
right. That's right. On this show, I need to be Billy Horschel's burner.
Very nice. Very, very nice. See, B, that's a better take, B. That is a better take than going out on a limb with Scottie Scheffler. Well done, buddy. Well done.
That's amazing, sir.
Well done.
Oh, wait. By the way, B, JP just sent this message in for you.
F you, F you, F you, and F you. Peace out. I'm going to go have a Guinness.
Just kidding, B. We love you very much here on this show and on the JP show.
That's right.
A lot of storylines here, Johnny, as we await the arrival of one Chris Kohler. Thought we would get a little bit into this Tiger Woods situation. As Tiger, it was announced by the Chairman Fred Ridley on Monday that the club will partner with five-time Masters champion Tiger Woods for a couple of new ventures. Woods and his firm TGR Design will lead the design of a short course at Augusta Municipal Golf Course, often referred to as the Patch. So the new course is going to be called the Loop. It'll be the Loop at the Patch. And not only the new course, but he will also build a new TGR learning lab in Augusta through his foundation. The building will provide students from under-resourced communities with access to the latest in technology and education. So they're building a learning annex through TGR with his foundation, and then Tiger and his firm will take the lead in building that new course at the municipal course. So lots of big things happening for Tiger and the whole Augusta National organization. Johnny, your thoughts on as a PGA certified PGA instructor, this learning lab that they've designed and are going to build, and maybe some of the other ones that are around the country. This isn't the first one of these, right? Or is it?
Yeah, there's many with the TGR. I mean, it's not the TGR. They're not learning labs for golf instruction. They're learning labs for education.
Right.
They're not. I mean, golf is certainly a little bit of a component of it, but they're not going into as players that want to play the PGA Tour again in golf business. This is strictly educational services that he creates for, ideally underprivileged kids. I mean, he had partnered up with the First Tee for a long time when they first started these TGR labs. So listen, I'm not sure he's probably 6 or 7 of them around the country. He's developed these things and had a lot of scholarships to kids that potentially couldn't have scholarships. So the things that he has done to further people's lives that maybe didn't have those opportunities certainly is something that he deserves, whatever accolades that he gets. That's part of the Tigers, after golf that he really wants to do. When it comes to the TGR design, the golf course wise, he redid the Hay out at Pebble Beach, which is a 9-hole cool little par 3. He redid that. And I think the Masters group is certainly smart to figure out a way to, as Tiger continues to weed himself out of the game competitively, not by choice, just by how, his life and wear and tear on his body and the things and his trials and tribulations. They've aligned himself with Tiger in terms of furthering the game, having a mark Tiger Woods on the par 3 that they're doing. And it's the kind of the same model using those grounds. I mean, with the exception, people only see Augusta as, a Augusta National,
Right.
Golf club, but the surrounding area is very poverty stricken. So you're looking at something right there that potentially could help kids, help further along these kids. And then you have the addition of a 9-hole par 3 that's going to be renovated. That's going to maybe allow some of these kids that couldn't afford, again, of the first tee model, couldn't afford these kids to go play golf. They can get it with an opportunity for a 9-hole par 3 and get them exposed to the game, along with the TGR academies and the learning centers, education centers that he has for future life for these kids. So smart on both parts. I don't know what most people don't know, that, the Augusta National Group is the number one powerful group in golf.
Yeah.
It's not the PGA Tour. It's not the PGA of America. It's the Augusta National Group. Whatever their parent company is, how they are the most powerful people in golf. They just are. So good for both of those. I think it's just good business that they were aligned with each other. So I'm happy for both of them, and we'll see. If it's anything like the Hay at Pebble Beach, it's going to be spectacular because that place is incredible.
So what's funny is Bob Herrig told us, we were talking a little bit about this on JP's show with Bob's SI sports writer, golf writer Bob Herrig earlier today. And he was talking about the power that Augusta National has. Yeah. And Fred Ridley. And he was talking about the road that runs on the northwest side of Augusta National Golf Club, Old Berkman's Road.
Yeah.
And they were doing some golf course redesign, and it was number 5 that they were extending and moving the tee box back. Well, it was in conflict with where Old Berkman's Road went. I mean, they wanted the tee box basically on the other side of the road where Old Berkman's Road went. So they needed it moved. They needed to move a road. So Ridley goes to the city and says, hey guys, we need this moved, and gave them the plans and, for what they were doing to the course. Any chance you can get that done here in about 3 months? By the way, here's a few $1 million to help with the cause. And it was done. Like they have literally the power to move roads. That's how much power Augusta National has as an organization in the area. But I thought that was a great story. Bob probably told it way better than I did, but
I think Fred Ridley's a member at JP's place down there in Tampa, Palmacia.
He is, yeah.
And I think they have some pretty good conversations when it comes out. Certainly they can't say it on the air. I mean, it's one of those things that you kind of keep, hush hush and things like that. Yeah. But for all for everything I know about Fred, he's just a great guy. Just the interactions JP said he's had with him is great. He's very approachable. And if you look at the golf list, most powerful people in golf, he is number 3 as most powerful people in golf. So take that as it is for a guy that doesn't play PGA Tour. I mean, obviously Tiger's probably 1. Whoever is 2, I'm not really sure, but certainly Fred really is on that. It could be you.
It's got to be me.
It could be you.
There is no other IndyCarTim in the world of golf.
But it's not the first time that they've moved roads, mountains, skies, whatever they've had to do to make Augusta National work. But the only other great thing that Augusta National Augusta as a city has is the Hooters right there next to the main gate that John Daly
hangs out all the time,
posts up at every week in the Masters. So if you guys are down there, you listen, you want to go say hey to JD, he'll certainly have a cold beer with you. So and, you'll have a little fun. So
that begs the question, why aren't we posting up there every Masters? I mean, we can't get in. That's for damn sure. They ain't letting us in.
I can get in.
Well, legally you can get in, yes, but can you?
They might escort me right back out.
Right.
I've been there, so they haven't escorted me out. I kind of blend in the crowd, right? I'm not up by myself. But did you know you can't have a phone on property?
Yes, I know that.
I mean, they will boot you out like they booed out Luka last night.
Yeah.
Really fast.
Good. That's how it should be.
Yeah. And very firm.
But it doesn't say anything about not wearing a GoPro on the top of it. No, it does. I'm just kidding. That would be something I'd try. I'd get one of those little button spy cams, and I'd be streaming live the entire setup until somebody found it and they'd come find me and you're out. Oh, wait. Are you IndyCarTim from the rough with FanStream Sports? Dude, you want us to come sit in Butler Cabin and watch the winners ceremony on Sunday? That'd be great. We'd love to have you.
Would you do the interview with the winner instead of Jim Nance? That'd be great.
Screw Jim. Jim's out.
Yeah.
We'd love to have you. He can't grow a beard like that. We'd love to have you. I tell you, they probably don't want me, but when Jim Nance retires, one guy One guy that they probably will look at to take over Jim Nance's duties, Johnny, is one Chris Kohler. As Chris Kohler joins the show here with us on From the Roof. Chris, how are you today?
I am fantastic, gentlemen. How are y'all?
Doing wonderful. This is Chris Kohler, of course, PGA member, general manager of the Retreat Golf Club in Cleburne, Texas. And you guys were prepping for the Masters with some fun out at the retreat today. What can you tell us about all of the debauchery that happened today?
Well, the debauchery hasn't quite started yet. We did start a nice par 3 contest in honor of the Wednesday Masters par 3 contest. So our Superintendent Nate Atkins out here does a phenomenal job, and he converted the front 9. We only had enough players, which is fine because we're a little bit more on the quiet side out here, which is the way we like it.
Well, I haven't been there.
And so we had players to fill up the front 9, so he kind of converted golf shots that typically the members don't ever have the chance to play as a par 3. And so, like, for instance, they're going to be playing for the 9th hole, they're going to be playing from 1 tee box to 9 green. So if you've been out here, if you've ever had that shot, I'm not sure how you got there, but so they're going to have some fun with it today. And then we've got our Masters draft party tonight. So we run it just like an NFL draft. We draft numbers for how many people are there, pick them out of a hat, and that's our draft order. And we go one all the way down, and it's a lot of fun. So.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I've had that shot, and I'm not going to tell you how I got there, but it wasn't very pretty. And that shot from 1 tee certainly is going to be very difficult because you have to hit over that. Luckily, the heather over there hasn't grown up yet. And, you have to hit over those bunkers, and it goes straight down to the arroyo. So that's a fun. Nate does a great job out there. But, yeah, I know you got some festivities out there for the Masters. Give me something. First off, we're going to get into your picks here in a little bit, Chris, but give me a little bit of one of your first Masters memories that you kind of, growing up. I know this is a big day. This is a big week in your whole family. I know the kids dress up, and I know mama dresses up, and it's just a big whole affair. Give me kind of your first Masters memory, and give me your kind of long-term and favorite Masters memory before we jump into your wrong picks, because I've only got the right picks. But give me a couple of those. Give me a couple of those that you've had.
Older than ice right now in my picks than ever. So
I know this.
Probably some of my favorite memories, if not my favorite, was growing up. It was always Super Bowl and Masters Sunday was always kind of a big party day at the Kohler household. My dad really thrived on it, liked to have friends and family over, and there'd be 40, 50 people. We'd bring in TVs, put them in the backyard and that kind of stuff. And I just remember kind of growing up, and that was always fun to kind of watch the back. There's no greater 3 hours in television than the back 9 on Sunday at Augusta. It's great. And I would say my favorite one, the one that really sticks out to me that I like when I still think about it, I get goosebumps. And y'all know I'm a Tiger fan, but when he finally won his 5th green jacket, when he hit the shot on 16 and dropped it in there and rolled down the slope and everything to about 2 feet and made the putt. And when the crowd just erupted, I still get goosebumps thinking about it. And the highlights were on Golf Channel the other day. And then I will say it was kind of a corny ending because he couldn't quite get down to the green in 2. Right. But he needed to make 5. I mean, that's all he did. He did it. He played smart. So, that's for me. And the main reason I remember is I was director of golf at Stonebriar, and I had my family over. I think it fell on maybe an Easter weekend that year. I can't, if I want to remember correctly, because we had Sunday brunch up at the club. Yeah. And so we did a huge watch party, and I'm there with my entire family. I had my entire family at the club. And I remember when he actually made the final putt on 18, the entire clubhouse, I think, was so loud in eruption that the clubhouse shook. I mean, it was everybody was kind of pulling for him after everything he'd gone through. So, yeah.
And that's a bit of it too. Just kind of everything he went to the battle back to kind of win that 5th one in 19. Certainly that was special. I know you've been down to the tournament itself. I know we talk about how people don't realize how hilly that place is. Man, you got to hit that treadmill a little bit before you go out there and try to walk that damn golf course, because it is. Tim, you couldn't do it. Trust me, you can't. You couldn't.
Oh no, I can't walk down the stairs here at the studio.
you got to take the studio, you got to take the elevator one floor up just at the studio there in Dallas. So, I know that's something that but, comparative to, people don't also realize how undulating those greens are. Give me an insight. So if you had let's just say you had a scratch player at your club, you've been in this golf business all your life. You're extremely good at what you did. I revere you as one of the best golf professionals in the country. If you had a scratch player that would go out to play Augusta National, what do you think that they would shoot?
That's a great question. I guess it really depends on where the strength of that scratch player's game is. To kind of, I'm going to get to my answer, but if it's a ball striker's golf course, I'm sorry, if it's a ball striker where, like for instance, we talk names all the time, John, right? So Corey Connors, more known for ball striking than putting and short game, correct? Right. So I believe you got to be a magician with clubs that end in wedge and putter and wedge, and to really be successful the first time you see the golf course, the first time you do. So if there's a strong short game person out there, I think they can come in under 80. If they're not a strong short game person, it's more about distance and ball striking for them. I think it's over 80 for them out there. I honestly do.
Wow.
I think it's way more than that. They do these tests all the time. The only thing that would help, they have that test with the U.S. Open. They take they draw a guy out of the hat that's a scratch player, 1 or 2, and they take him to the U.S. Open the day after the U.S. Open, and they want to compare. And they've done this for 20 years. There's been one person the day after the U.S. Open that's supposed to be a scratch player that's broke 100 the day after the U.S. Open. Now, that being said, Augusta's a little bit different because you don't have that penal rough.
Right.
So you're looking at something like that. But they also did it at Oakmont the last time they had it at Oakmont. And the guy, a scratch player that never played Oakmont before, 3-putted 11 of the 18 holes at Oakmont and had like 3 4-putts at Oakmont. How treacherous those greens are. And they're not, Augusta is very treacherous, but it's not, Oakmont's the most impossible greens in the world, especially where they would put those places. So that's always something for me. I always get a kick out of people coming and it's like, oh, I could break 80 at wherever at Augusta. I said, bro, you don't break 80 at your home club. What do you think you can go out there and break 80 for? So listen, that's not happening.
Yeah.
It just goes how unrealistic. And first off, they'd be so starstruck of the place anyways, that's 5 shots right at the bat.
Well, that's where I get to my point, though. Is like, listen, inevitably the guy's going to top the first tee shot. Okay, then he hammers 3 wood, wedges it up there, and he's got his 5-footer for par.
yeah, fair.
How many mulligans are we talking? You get like 3 mulligans per hole, though, right?
Mulligans, yeah.
Just like the PGA Tour gets.
I feel like a stronger short game at Augusta would actually set up for a more successful person to break 80 their first time, because it'll be able to save them getting through the nerves of the first few holes. And then, I feel like, do I think that, like, would I bet on them to break 80? No, but I think they would have a better shot to do it.
Yeah, and one's the hardest driving hole probably on the golf course. It's just, first off, it's 470 yards, and you got to hit it over the crest of the hill. And most amateurs, especially, they're not going to get to the top of the hill anyways. Right. So that they're making five's par there for sure. It's a par 4, but if they make 5, that's a pretty good go.
Okay.
Tim, you shoot 140.
So let's put this into perspective. And Chris, we're about to get your picks. So get ready. A question for both of you guys. Johnny, you and Kohler versus Lee Trevino right now and Jack Nicklaus right now today.
At the retreat?
At Augusta, as it's set up for the Masters, who would win?
We'd whoop them because they can't walk the golf course.
Well, they can ride.
No, they can't.
It's my rules. I let them ride. Y'all have to walk.
No, they can't.
I still think we're good just on the distance factor.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's why I picked them. Okay, what if I threw this out there?
At the retreat?
Kohler and Gerber at Augusta National, set up for the Masters, against right now today, Corey Pavin and Fred Couples.
Oh, we get mopped.
Yeah. I had hope when you started with Corey Pavin.
Yeah, I was 50-50, and then you threw Freddie in there, and I'm out.
I love Corey Pavin though.
I'm out.
Fred Couples is my all-time favorite golfer. So
Freddie can still hit it far. So he'll hurt us when it comes to that.
All right. Okay, well, let me throw this at you then before we get to your picks there, Kohler. Johnny, you against Kohler at the retreat.
I lose every time.
He's lying. Right. I'll take it though. But I know you're lying.
Yeah, that's right. All right, big dog. Give us a little insight and who you thinking this week. Give us some picks. Give the fans what you're thinking from your perspective in terms of what's going to win. Give me a winning score. Who you think's going to be contending this week.
All right. Well, you know me. I always like to. I got a couple, not Cinderellas, but a couple heartfelt ones that I'd love to see get it done. There's two that come to mind for me. I'm a big fan of wanting to see history, and so if Rory McIlroy actually came down and actually finished off the Grand Slam, I wouldn't hate it.
I would love it.
But 5 years ago, I'm not a Rory fan. It's kind of like when it took Phil Mickelson. I couldn't stand Phil for the longest time. It took him so long to finally win his first major. I was actually happy to see him do it. It's been 11 years for Rory, so I'd like to see him actually get it done and cross it off the list. But, I'm a hometown guy too. Jordan Spieth, I loved, and I think he will be in the mix, by the way. I really do. Something about that place in him. I know he had that year where he kind of, it cursed him on 12 a little bit, but I think he's over that now. I think he's got a clear mind. I think the surgery was a big deal for him. He's getting healthy. And I think, I think this is the right place for him to jump back off and become back to George Spieth that we all loved to watch on tour for those few years that he was red hot.
Yeah. It's just like you and Rio
ago.
It's just like you and Rio Mambo. It's just where you feel comfortable, right? You feel comfortable there.
But the place is near and dear to me, baby.
That's right. Give me a long shot. Give me a long shot that you like. Somebody that's a little under the radar that potentially can make a move or scare those guys up top that we may see for the first few days. Maybe not win the golf tournament, but somebody that maybe the general public doesn't know that they're going to know after this week.
That doesn't know. I was going to say a long shot because I'm looking at my betting odds.
Either long shot too. Give me a long shot too.
Well, he's the 66th pick as far as odds go, and I think he's been coming on strong lately. I like Tom Hoagie. I think he did
made a hole in one today on the par 3.
He did, and if you watch his interview today, he was saying just all the right things, and I didn't realize he missed the Masters last year.
Yeah,
and he said, being back at this place makes me not want to take it for granted. I mean, it's go time. And, I really want to try to do something special. And he's been playing pretty good this year. I mean,
yeah.
So as far as anybody else, that if you're asking me for like a lot, like a really long shot, how about we'll go with my boy here on camera, his boy, Max Homa. That's about as long shot as it gets.
He's either going to win.
My current favorite golfer on tour, right?
Yeah.
He's either going to win or shoot 100. So we'll see what that happens. I don't think
what's funny?
Middle.
He was on the broadcast today on the par 3. And the reason I love him and the reason I started loving him so much is we started following each other on social media on X.
Yeah.
And he's one of the most hilarious, self-deprecating golfers that I've ever followed or ever heard on TV. All he does is bash himself. And when he makes a bad shot or he has a bad day, dude, he will let you know about it on social media before anybody else can.
Yeah.
And he's such a real guy, and he's one of these guys, kind of like Tom Hoagie, that it's hard not to root for.
Yeah.
I love Maxie.
But he's the guy. He's the guy's guy. He gets along.
Yeah.
He can make fun of himself and make fun of you, and they can all take it, which is always. Yeah. I will give you the person that I'm going to pick to actually win, though.
All right.
Which is not going to, I know is not going to be a favorite. I haven't looked at any of y'all's picks yet, but watch out for Brooks Koepka. Watch out for Brooks Koepka. Because I think you're getting ready to see him flip a switch. I
agree.
And so.
I hope he flips the switch to off and just leaves and never comes back.
Me and Kohler will do the show. You can step out on this one.
Look, and I used to love Brooks Koepka, man. We're Srickson brothers. I love Brooksy. But he's got to
excited, I think
he's got to make better decisions.
Contracts coming up with the other place, and I'm excited to see him get back to the tour so we can see him more on regular PGA next year. Yep. I think that's where he belongs. I understand why he made the move in the first place, because he wasn't healthy and didn't know if he was ever going to be healthy. Why wouldn't he take the money?
Different reasons for than some of those other guys, for sure.
Yeah, and so I've always been a fan of his and his mentality when it was game time, when it was the big boy moments.
No nonsense, man. He is a no-nonsense guy.
Well, it reminded me so much of, like, there's only one Tiger, but it was about as close as it gets to someone that could always reach the moment when it needed to happen.
Yeah.
It was to his hot streak. So
that's how I am on the golf course, Kohler. We got to play together. You'll see my Tiger Woods, Brooks Koepka mentality.
Well, I hear you're going to be down here May 5th. Maybe we'll play then.
Let's do it.
Okay. So.
All right, brother. Well, I know you're busy at the retreat. Tell everybody I said there, hey there. Give everybody a hug for me. I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for popping on with us, brother. And let's have a great Masters and have a good night tonight at the retreat.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Tell the family hello from us.
We'll do. Thank you, guys.
All right, there he goes. Chris Kohler, general manager of the retreat in Cleveland, Texas, with his picks for you for the 89th Masters. Johnny, let's take another break. We will have Rob Robinson coming up shortly from the Ohio State University golf team and talk a little bit more about these storylines that we've got coming up. I am Tim. That's Johnny. We are from the rough right here on FanStream Sports. We'll be back after this.
Hello, sports fans. FanStream Sports.
Orion Golf Management Solutions. Orion Management Solutions has tailored its service packages just like it tailors its approach to customers. Some owners need more supervision, while others need periodic assessment of their short-term and long-term strategies and programs. Orion can be called in to develop a business plan with the existing staff, or we can assist with the daily management of a facility or event. Either way, we make sure the client is satisfied and understands the direction the facility needs to go in order to achieve the owner's goals. Orion Management Solutions can help with owner assistance service solutions, daily course management, business plan development, monthly operations, or as-needed consulting services. Whatever your need, Orion Golf Management Solutions can help. Check out oriongolf.com.
Hey, listeners, make sure you check out the brand new FanStream Sports in-studio text line. You can reach us during any of our live shows or 24/7 at 214-937-0569. That's 214-937-0569. Text us 24/7 day or night, and we'll reply to you and make you part of the show.
Today's show is brought to you by Tom's Town, a premier craft distillery based in Kansas City, Missouri. Discover their award-winning lineup, including double oaked bourbon, botanical gin, and double grain vodka, named the best craft vodka by the readers of USA Today. Available for online delivery in 40 states. Visit toms-town.com or their Kansas City distillery to explore more. Elevate your game with Tom's Town, where history meets innovation. Please enjoy responsibly.
In 1993, Bob opened the original Bob's Steak and Chop House on Lemon Avenue. 32 years later, the original Bob still greets you at the original Bob's. And now his sparkling new Bob's at Craig Ranch has opened in McKinney. Same fantastic beef and fresh seafood at these two Bob's, each run by the Bob's Steak and Chop House.
Hi, golfers. IndyCarTim here. I want to talk to you a little bit about Golf Central Magazine. It's not just a golf magazine. It's the magazine for everything: turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Head over to golfcentralmag.com and check out the latest issue. Some of the regular features in Golf Central Magazine: the Golf Bachelorette of the Month, the Golf Bachelor of the Month, the Golf Cart Girl of the Month, Golf History, Grip It and Sip It. So head over to golfcentralmag.com. It's free. It's the magazine for everything: turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Golf Central Magazine at golfcentralmag.com. We'll see you there. Hello, folks. Let's talk a little bit about turf life. What is turf life? It's pretty much, if your life involves turf in any way, shape, or form, you live the turf life. Go ahead and brand yourself with the turf life. Maybe a back window decal, maybe a hat. You know where you can get those kinds of things to showcase that your life revolves around sports and or anything that involves sports, if it's a sports business or sports education or just your enjoyment of the outdoors, head over to turflifeclub.com. Become a turf head. Join the club today. You can do that by going to that said website that I just told you to go to. You can snag your window decal like I was talking about, or any of your other Turf Life accessories. Show everybody that you live the turf life, and we'll see you there over there at that turflifeclub.com.
Coming back at you.
Now, more Fan Stream Sports.
Welcome back to From the Rough right here on Fan Stream Sports. I'm IndyCarTim. That guy over there is Johnny the Gerbinator, PGA of America member, and PGA certified instructor, John Gerber. If you guys out there want some private personal instruction or some golf tips,
go to you.
Well, come to me with your life questions, your love life, your girlfriend, roommate questions, anything like that. You need me to negotiate a lease for you, I can do that.
Oh, we bumped it up to roommate questions.
To business and room. Yeah, I can do all that. I'm very experienced in that.
What's that
Especially if
movie?
they're of
What's
the
that movie
opposite
with
sex.
what's the movie with the stalker? What was that called?
Single white female?
That's it.
Is that the one you were talking about? Because I pulled that out of my butt.
That's pretty good.
Pulled that out of my master's butt.
That was
Man,
pretty
that
good.
had
That's
great. Bridget
the Masters
Fonda,
brings out the best in you, son.
Mary Stuart Masterson. Bridget Fonda was still hot.
Yeah.
She wasn't 184 pounds yet.
Oh, is she biggins now?
Oh, yeah. So, she retired from the business. And you know what, though? Good for her. She retired from the business 20 years ago or more, maybe probably 20 years ago, and really bowed out of public life, right? And hasn't done interviews, haven't done movies, hasn't talked about anything. But, there's paparazzi pictures of her popping in and out of her apartment in New York or whatever, wherever she lives. I don't know where she lives. But, yeah, she just hasn't aged well, But you know what? She's probably very, very happy out of the limelight and living her life and doing her thing. So good for you, Bridget Fonda. You will always be Pulp Fiction Bridget Fonda and single white female Bridget Fonda to me. That's all I care about.
Yeah, she has some memorable movies, right? I mean, that you can only do that. Listen, here's the deal. She obviously, with her family lineage, she came from money. She didn't really worried about money. It was something she grew up in.
Plus
she
her
loved it
mom's
for a while, and
lunatic.
she kind of faded out of it, and she didn't have to do that for the rest of her life to continue to live her lifestyle.
She had Ted Turner as a stepdad for a long time. That'll ruin anybody's life.
Yeah, I mean, are they not married anymore? Jane Fonda and her?
Jane Fonda and Ted Turner?
Yeah. Wasn't who she married to?
Can't imagine they are.
No, I think they're still married.
No, dude, they were married from 91 to 01.
Yeah, they're still married.
No, they broke up in 01.
Yeah, they're still married.
Dude, she is 87. Holy mother of
I bet
God.
she's still getting some bread.
Remember Barbarella?
No.
You ever saw Barbarella?
Was that Pam Anderson?
No, that was Jane Fonda.
Oh, that was Barbed Wire.
That was Barbed Wire. By the way, did you know that's based on a comic book?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, Colby tells me about it all the time.
She did nothing for me.
Jane Fonda?
Oh, her too, but Pam Anderson.
Oh, I had a huge crush on Jane Fonda.
I'm
back
sure
in the
you
day.
did.
I still have a huge crush on Pam Anderson. I'd
still to this day
do some dirty things to Pam Anderson.
She's 100 now, isn't she? Is she Jane? Isn't she 86?
Jane Fonda's 87.
So is Pam Anderson. What is she? Same?
Pam Anderson's 57. She's like your age.
She was on that show, what, Tim Watch?
She was on Babe Watch.
Yeah, Tim Watch.
And then she was on Tool Time too.
Was she real? Oh, was that her start?
I think so, yeah. You know how she was discovered?
She's Canadian, isn't she?
She's Canadian. She's from Toronto. She was at a Toronto Blue Jays game. And she got put on the Jumbotron. And some dude from some whatever modeling talent agency was in the audience. And he saw her on the Jumbotron. And he immediately went to one of the ushers. He said, "What section was that y'all just showed?" And, I don't know how we ended up finding her. Signed her to a deal right there that night at the stupid Blue Jays game. It's funny how people can get discovered, right?
That's kind of what happened to that. Who's that girl from Colombia that looks great, but I can't stand her talking?
Sofia Vergara.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's
me
it.
too. I can't stand her when she talks.
She's great, and just don't until she's talked. She had me at hell. She didn't have me at hello because she said a word and I was out. But if you could just look at her and
she's 52.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
no,
boy,
as long as she didn't talk, I'd be fine with her, but I can't.
Yeah.
You know what? And what's funny is Modern Family is one of my favorite shows. But dude, I
I've
just
never seen
can't.
that.
I just can't. I mean, that's where she got her start. I just can't.
You know who
listen
she
to her talk.
discovered her?
Your mom?
No.
Nancy didn't?
No. She
Oh.
discovers a lot of things.
She discovered me.
She did. Tom Cruise.
Discovered
Cruise.
Sofia Vergara?
That's fact. That is factual.
I believe you. I just haven't heard that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to call Tom.
Yeah, they dated. She was like 19.
Date.
Yes, they did.
What? I knew everybody that Tom Cruise dated.
She was like 19. This is years ago. She was like 19 or
I have
20
a weird
years old.
obsession with Tom Cruise, for those of you that don't know.
And he's like 5'2". Do you really have a weird obsession with Tom Cruise?
Oh,
Why?
absolutely 1,000%. He is my 100% man crush. Yeah, it's not close. It's not close. I've never made love to a man, but I'm telling you.
You'd pat him on the back. Would you hold his head while he throws up in the toilet?
I would hold his hair back while he throws up in my lap. 100%, I would.
And he's about 5'2", so it wouldn't take that much.
5'7".
So 5'7" means 5'4". You know how this? He's got that means 5'8".
And I'd still play the little spoon for him.
Okay, interesting.
God, we have talked to no master. So let's get into our first storyline, Johnny, as we prepare here soon for the appearance via the miracle of the telephone of our buddy Rob Robinson from the Ohio State University Golf Club in Columbus, Ohio. Is the 11th time the charm, Johnny? This is the storyline every time the Masters rolls around, and this year it's been really perpetuated by Rory's play because he's playing really, really well. He's making his 11th attempt at completing the career Grand Slam and becoming the 6th golfer ever to raise all 4 trophies. It will also be his 39th attempt at winning his 5th major after capturing his last one at the 2014 PGA Championship. If he does accomplish this goal, it would mark the latest by far any player has achieved the feat. It'll only get more difficult with each passing year that he doesn't do it. Although he might be playing some of his best golf right now. So let's look at some of the guys that have done this here. Gene Sarazen, his 2nd attempt at the Masters. Ben Hogan, his 1st attempt at the Open. Gary Player, his 3rd attempt at the U.S. Open. Jack Nicklaus, his 4th attempt at the British Open. Tiger Woods, his 1st attempt at the British Open. Those are all guys and where they won their career Grand Slams.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Rory, though. I mean, this is probably the best he's played going into the Masters, right? So that's a good sign for Rory. I just think, man, he has a lot of scars. I do. I mean, I just think this place has really put him in a position to where that he has if he can get over the demons that he has out there, you know, especially what was 10 years ago, 11 years ago, when he was about to do that and he shot 40 or 41 on that backside. And hit a drive off 10 that still can't find. I mean, that's probably
still looking
the
for
worst
that ball.
shot. It's 70 yards left on 10. I mean, 70 yards for a golf pro. So I just think that obviously Rory's a different person now back then. Do I think he's going to get the career Grand Slam? Yes. Do I think he's going to win at Augusta? Yes. Do I know when? No. Rory's got a lot of golf left in him.
But like I said, dude, it gets harder every year he doesn't do it.
Doesn't get easier. It does. I mean, you know, there's 3 things in life that's undefeated. You know, Father Time's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, you're looking
at the other.
Well, yeah, well, you're not, you get defeated a lot. But that being said, yeah, the hat looks good on you though.
How do you like that?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
But look, he's, we're talking about how well he's playing right now. He's won for the first time in April or before April for the first time in his career. He's won twice in April, but before the calendar rolls to April. So he's having a career year
in the U.S.
Well, yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Well, he's won in Dubai going in first of the year. So yeah,
nobody cares about that.
I need to go get my charger here. You got me all fired up about Rory talking. My computer is going down. So let me go ahead and talk about Rory real quick.
Yeah, go get your computer. I'm gonna pull you off the screen.
Yep.
is we're going to go all Timm all the time right here, as we always do. It's just like a Monday show on From the Rough. It's all Timm. What do you think about that? Is, Johnny doesn't have the foresight to plug his computer in before the show starts. And I can only think of one other time that has been the case in the FamStream Sports family of networks. And it was one day when our friend JP Peterson had to do a live show from, I believe it was the Valspar last year, and showed up at the Valspar with his laptop to do the show and didn't take his charger. So he had to do the show from his phone. That's the kind of company Johnny's in.
I'm back.
He's this kind of company Johnny's in with JP Peterson, who can't tell the difference between Memphis and Dallas, apparently.
I'm back.
Are you, though?
I am back.
There he is.
See? Didn't take
Johnny's
long.
back. Johnny's front and Johnny's back.
That's right.
So, yeah, to me, that's the biggest storyline is Rory in his 11th attempt. Can he get it? For me, though, I think the second biggest storyline involves Jack Nicklaus, Tiger Woods, Nick Faldo, and Scottie Scheffler, possibly. Nicklaus, Woods, and Faldo, the list of green jacket holders who successfully defended their green jacket at the Masters. Scheffler is not only looking to join that elite group, he's seeking a third victory in 4 years. And you know what? He hasn't had a great year. He started the year hurt with his hand herpes that he shared with Jordan Spieth, those UT Longhorns, somehow rubbing their hand herpes on each other. I don't want to know how that happened, but it did, and that's fine. You'll never see Aggies doing that, by the way.
They do worse.
But he's got as good a chance as any, right? Even though the way he's playing, he's still the world number one. He hasn't won yet this year, but finished second in Houston, so he's kind of got his game working. And he shot rounds of 62 and 73 at the Houston Open. In his final start before the Masters, he's slowly getting back into form. So, again, Johnny, not from a betting standpoint, because I know there's never value with Scottie Scheffler, but just from a game standpoint and from a probability or possibility of winning and repeating and joining that elite group, what are you thinking about Scottie Scheffler?
Yeah, I mean, this golf course sets up perfect for him. He has all the attributes. He moves it both ways. This is a golf course that you have to be extremely creative, and he has that in folds. He can hit it high when he needs to, and that helps him. And again, he's the guy next to Jack and Tiger that has the opportunity to win 3 in 4 years. And you said Faldo to go back to back. That's correct, but also the other record that he would have would be to win 3 in 4 years.
3 out of 4.
So. Yeah, I mean there's a reason why he's the favorite. I mean, going into it, I mean, the golf course sets up well. I think that I don't think he's played as well this year as he has in the past when he's won in the past, but that has to do with him being hurt and taking some time off, things of that nature. The 62-73, the inconsistencies there bothers me a little bit. He always has a little bit of a bulky putter. It's going to boil down for me with Scottie Scheffler is to see how impatient that he gets. You look at a situation with Scottie Scheffler is, he can get a little bit down on himself or crying a little. He could be, let's just say this, he could be a little Luka. How about that?
Oh yeah. I know.
So we'll just see how it goes when it's not really going his way. And see how patient he gets. That tells me everything I need to know where Scottie Scheffler is.
And let's look the whole talk about Rory and the Masters, Mickelson at the U.S. Open, Jordan Spieth at the PGA. Those career Grand Slam conversations get stale really quick because that's all anyone talks about. So I wanted to throw some other conversations into the mix there about the career Grand Slam. Brooks Koepka, Colin Morikawa, Xander Schauffele can all add a third leg of their career Grand Slams with a Masters victory. A win would mark Koepka's 6th major and make his trip to Royal Portrush later this summer even more anticipated. For Morikawa and Schauffele, a win would turn this summer's U.S. Open at Oakmont into a can't-miss affair because especially when you think about their U.S. Open records. So all three have come close to slipping on the green jacket on the final Sunday. But out of those three guys, I know you're high on the way Brooksy's playing right now. And yes, I can call him Brooksy because we're Srickson brothers.
Fair.
And for those of you out there that remember the frosted tips, do you know who gave him those frosted tips?
Whistle tips.
That would be me. I did that for him, to him, and for him because he asked me. That's how close we are. Yeah. There's no truth to that. I can't. You can't prove I did.
He frosted his hair. You frosted your beard. It works out exactly the
mine
same.
Just grew out faster is the way that works. But out of those three guys, Johnny, as we try to chase additional Grand Slam pursuers, thoughts on those guys?
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think Xander's completely healthy, especially going around this place. I like his ball striking, how he's very creative going around this place. He has a great track record. I just don't think he's ready to win at a place like this. I just don't think he has enough reps. He can say that. I think Players Championship testing pretty well. I'm high on Brooks. I am. This is a perfect spot for him. He's like that lion sitting in the weeds, ready to pounce. He's very under the radar. His odds are great. Is he a guy? He's a guy that's perfectly fit for this when it comes to it. I mean, he's playing live, but this is what he does on the PGA Tour. He doesn't put a lot of emphasis on when he played the PGA Tour on regular PGA Tour events. It was amped up for the majors. It's no different than him playing live golf. He doesn't put a lot of emphasis on that. Being said, playing live golf, and then he comes over here and he's very amped up for this. So I'm really high on Brooks. I like to wear that that he's underneath the radar for Brooks, and if you can get him at the number that we have got him at 30-1. I think you got to jump all over that.
There is also a race to 3 major championship wins. The ultimate game, though, is not from your first to your second. Many will argue it's from your second to your third. Scotty Scheffler, Xander Schauffele, Colin Morikawa, John Rahm, Bryson DeChambeau, Justin Thomas, and Dustin Johnson all enter 2025 with 2 major championship trophies to their name. And serious chances to add a third. A major win for any of these guys would put them alongside Spieth, Vijay Singh, Patrick Harrington, Billy Casper, Payne Stewart, and a host of other names. But out of the party of everybody that's got 2. So out of those guys, the race to their third, and we've talked about Scheffler a little bit. You talked about Schauffele. Morikawa, Rahm. Look, I just don't like John Rahm's game. I think his game has completely fallen apart since he left the PGA Tour. And I'll also say that doesn't make me mad. But out of these guys, DJ, JT, and Bryson, thoughts on these guys getting their third?
Yeah, I certainly think Bryson has the firepower, especially with the rain and playing a little bit softer. They can suck the sub air out of these things. I think Bryson has it. He just doesn't putt very well on these greens. The creativity I like from JT. I think I wanted to put him in our card this week. I just needed to see more. I didn't like how, JT battling back in events that he's played, 2 weeks in a row. He just made the cut on the number and just went, hog wild on the weekend and going under. You can't shoot those low scores like that at Augusta on the weekend. It's not going to allow you to do that. They're not going to. 63 is a course record for a reason. And that was a very hard 63. And that wasn't on the weekend. That was one of the first couple of days. Right. So I think between JT and Bryson, I like JT's creativity, but I also like Bryson's power. But I don't like Bryson on these greens. Doesn't have a great track record putting these places well, but he certainly can get to the par 5s really easy and shorten up the golf course. If I were to take any of that group, I would take one of those 2 guys.
And when you look at Schauffele, I mean, it's almost historic, his run, because, he entered last year. He even here at the Masters with that big cloud hanging over his head that he can't win the big one.
Best player in the not winning a major, right?
Yeah. Well, now he's got 2 to his name. So he's sort of really come out of that cloud. So big historic things possible for him for sure. And then, Johnny, before we take our final break here and get Rob on, will the Americans continue their major dominance? the run of major winners and the consistency for Americans is atop the leaderboard.
Larrikins or Americans?
It's all the same, right?
Oh, okay.
Isn't it? That's what
well.
you call Americans larrikins.
Well, you're a Canadian, so that,
Good day, mate.
Yeah.
Americans have raised 7 straight major trophies, the longest stretch going back to the mid-'70s. Last year alone, all 4 majors champions held from the United States. The first time since 1982 that has been accomplished. Here's your last 7 major winners: Brooks Koepka, Wyndham Clark, Brian Harmon, Scotty Scheffler, Xander Schauffele, Bryson, and Xander. I don't look, to be honest, and all respect to Rory and my hopes that he wins, because I think that's who I'm pulling for this week. I'm really pulling for Rory. I don't see it changing.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, our card is consistent of, out of our 8 picks, we have 7 Americans. So I'm certainly pulling for the Americans. No rhyme or reason. It's just, I just don't have them. I mean, I have one guy on our card that lives in the United States. He is from across the pond.
Good day,
Other
mate.
than that, I got all Americans on my card.
All Larrikins? Is that what you said? All the Larrikins are on your card?
All the great stars and stripers.
Okay, there you go. All the candy stripers are on your card.
No.
Coming up, we will have our next guest joining the show, Rob Robinson, PGA member, golf professional at the Ohio State University Golf Club in Columbus, Ohio, to talk a little bit of Masters. Maybe we'll get into a little bit of Neil Shipley. He's not playing at the Masters, but boy, he is certainly a young name on the PGA Tour.
He played last year. He did, and he played well, right? As I recall, on Thursday, he had a good cut. Made the cut.
He did make the cut. So we'll talk to Rob a little bit about Neil Shipley, some of the other things happening around the Ohio State University golf world, as well as more. Masters talk, the 89th Masters, a tradition unlike any other. Kind of like my Friday nights, Johnny. And anytime me and Johnny head over to the Peanut in Kansas City, it's a tradition unlike any other.
Correct.
But we will be back after this.
Hello, sports fans. FanStream Sports.
Today's show is brought to you by Tom's Town, a premier craft distillery based in Kansas City, Missouri. Discover their award-winning lineup, including double oaked bourbon, botanical gin, and double grain vodka. Named the best craft vodka by the readers of USA Today. Available for online delivery in 40 states. Visit toms-town.com or their Kansas City distillery to explore more. Elevate your game with Tom's Town, where history meets innovation. Please enjoy responsibly.
All right, guys, time to talk a little bit about Turf Life. You've seen the hats on our heads. You've been or seen the video of the studio. You've seen that the decals are all over the place. Turf Life. Man, it's the brand that salutes the consumer and industry players everywhere whose lives involve turf. What does that mean? That means if you play or have a business or, maybe you're a sports educator, you're going to be on turf at some point. So you live the turf life. So go ahead and tell everybody you live the turf life by having your Turf Life window decal or, the hat or the keychain or the something. Along that lines, just go to turflifeclub.com and become a turf head. That's what it's called when you live the turf life. You're now a turf head. And you can go join the club today, snag that window decal, or snag any other special Turf Life accessories, and go over there to that website, which is turflifeclub.com, and get your stuff and show everybody that, man, I'm all about that turf life. And then you just kind of raise your coffee mug at them and go, yeah, turf life, baby. That's what it's about. And then that's the end of the commercial. Ding. That means it's done in microwave talk.
Hi, golfers. IndyCarTim here. I want to talk to you a little bit about Golf Central Magazine. It's not just a golf magazine. It's the magazine for everything: turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Head over to golfcentralmag.com and check out the latest issue. Some of the regular features in Golf Central Magazine: the Golf Bachelorette of the Month, the Golf Bachelor of the Month, the Golf Cart Girl of the Month, Golf History, Grip It and Sip It. So head over to golfcentralmag.com. It's free. It's the magazine for everything: turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Golf Central Magazine at golfcentralmag.com. We'll see you there.
For more than 3 decades, Bob's Steak and Chop House has remained an icon at DFW restaurants. Why? Well, maybe it's because of Bob. He's fanatical about cleanliness and friendliness, and his food Oh, my Lord, his food. If you've been there, you know about it. If you haven't been there, you should know about it. The original Bob welcomes you at either of his 2 locations, Bob's on Lemon Avenue or the sparkling new Bob's at Craig Ranch, McKinney.
Hey, listeners, make sure you check out the brand new FanStream Sports in-studio text line. You can reach us during any of our live shows or 24/7 at 214-937-0569. That's 214-937-0569. Text us 24/7 day or night, and we'll reply to you and make you part of the show.
Orion Golf Management Solutions. Orion Management Solutions has tailored its service packages just like it tailors its approach to customers. Some owners need more supervision, while others need periodic assessment of their short-term and long-term strategies and programs. Orion can be called in to develop a business plan with the existing staff, or we can assist with the daily management of a facility or event. Either way, we make sure the client is satisfied and understands the direction the facility needs to go in order to achieve the owner's goals. Orion Management Solutions can help with owner assistance service solutions, daily course management, business plan development, monthly operations, or as needed consulting services. Whatever your need, Orion Golf Management Solutions can help. Check out oriongolf.com.
Coming back at you.
Now, more FanStream Sports.
Welcome back to From the Rough right here on FanStream Sports. As we discuss the 89th Masters, Johnny, maybe possibly
Your
the
age.
very
It's your age.
the very last Masters that exists that I don't play in. What do you think of that?
Say that one more time.
The 89th Masters could be the very last Masters that I don't participate in, that I don't play in.
Is there another Masters that I don't know about?
I mean, could also be just, I'll never be there. But I'm trying to, I don't know. I'm trying to give it some drama.
Okay, well,
What if I qualify? What do I have to do to qualify for the Masters next year?
Say it again. Because I just can't believe what's coming out of your mouth at this point. I just can't believe what you're talking about
with this garbage.
Yeah,
Johnny,
let's get to
look,
a
for
guy
for those of you that need an insight into Johnny, and Rob's on the hold. He's about to come on with us. He will probably appreciate this because he knows you really, really well. For those of you that are also fans of the Colby Sapp and IndyCarTim show, we used to do, we still do. We haven't done one in a while. A Would You Rather segment where it's a two hypothetical situations, right? For instance, would you rather be born with a baby arm, where you have a baby arm for the rest of your life, or be born with an arm that grows into a full adult arm? However, instead of a hand, you have a lobster claw. And you have to pick one. And when Johnny would be on our show and we would go to him and go, hey, so would you rather, which one? Y'all know what Johnny would say? He's the most non-committal person I've ever met because he would say, pass.
I don't remember.
You can't pass on a hypothetical. Yeah, so this is just how Johnny is. He just passes.
You got the non-committal part right, I guess.
I know. I've been married more times than you've taken a piss, I think, in your life, probably.
I don't know.
I know you drink a lot of vodka. On our phone
of lobster arm.
On our phone, no, is lobster claw. Not the lobsters don't have arms.
Claw.
That's like saying chicken fingers. Chicken don't have fingers. On our phone now, Johnny, the one and the only, the great Rob Robinson, PGA member, golf professional at the Ohio State University Golf Club. By the way, go blue. From Columbus, Ohio, joins the show. Welcome into the show, Rob Robinson. How are you, buddy?
Great now. Thank you, fellas. Hey, I was going to say real quick, though, he can't hold a White Claw with a claw.
Oh, that's true.
That is true.
He would have his other arm, like his other hand, he could hold whatever.
Maybe a better question is: would you have a baby arm?
He's got bartender friends that pour his drinks for him.
Right.
That's why. That's a better question. Is tell him, Rob, would you have a baby arm or an arm that is
Lobster
just a
claw.
White Claw? It's just a full White Claw. Then I'd commit on that one,
dude. Like it's never empty. It's just on the end of your hand, and it's never empty.
Yeah, if it's never empty, I'm going White Claw arm.
Do you think you get tired of whatever flavor it was, though?
Yes.
But you can't change the flavor.
He would. He needs variety in his life.
He does.
That's right.
Especially if she's Asian.
Robbie, how are you, buddy? How's things up there in Columbus, Ohio?
Hey, doing good. We're still, mid-spring shit weather, but everything's going good. We got the 2 collegiate events, the women and then the men next week. So, but everything's ramping up, going good.
Yeah, I know you're busy, man. So thanks for popping on with us. I wanted you to jump on here and give a couple thoughts. First off, I wanted to ask you about your first. You've been in this golf business all your life. A good player. Play the tour for a long time. Competitive. I'd like to hear your first action and the first time you kind of fell in love with the Masters. And second off, I'd like to hear your most memorable Masters event. And you can't say Jack. I don't want to hear Jack, 86 Jack. I hear that shit all the time.
I know that's the easiest. That's the easiest one to come up with because that was my senior year of high school, and I was sitting there and I was watching that. So that's pretty easy. There have been some pretty cool ones along the way. It's probably no shock to you that I was never a Greg Norman fan. So anytime like Faldo took him down or Larry Mize took him down, that was pretty good.
The great Larry Mize. I love the Larry Mize reference.
Yeah, Scott Hoke missing the 1-footer on that was a pretty good one back in the day. Freddie on the bank, getting it up and down on 12. That's pretty awesome. Love that Masters. You got to always root for Freddie at Augusta.
Yep.
So. Yeah, there's a ton, and there's been so many good champions and good memories. But just early on playing high school and college golf and stuff, and watching it back in that era, those are some of the ones that stick for me.
Yeah, I mean, you before you got to Ohio State, you've been in some very prestigious places as a golf professional, and Murfield Village was one of those places. Jack's place up there in Columbus, Ohio, that holds a memorial. What do you see in terms of reference? I mean, I know Jack tried to model, especially 12, Murfield Village, like Augusta National. Do you see the games of these guys that can win at Augusta, that have won at Augusta, that their games transcends to Murfield Village? Do you see that same type of guy, same type of player that has won at Murfield, but their games is very, very similar, that they can certainly win at Augusta? I mean, Jack kind of turned that over and made Murfield Village a lot like Augusta, especially 12. Do you see somebody that's won Murfield, your time there, that potentially hasn't won hasn't won Augusta yet, the Masters, that potentially could?
Well, I would probably think the most recent one that jumps to mind that's one out there is Colin Morikawa, and not that he's necessarily a pick for me, but that he's high ranked up in strokes gained approach. He's considered one of the most prolific iron players, and Augusta's a second shot golf course. So he's always in the conversation of if he could figure it out there. Not sure that this is the week that happens or whatever, but Muirfield does represent a lot of, and we used to always have this thing where we said, like, if Augusta does it, we do it. At Muirfield or Jack. And then there's another place that does that as well, which is Quail Hollow, with Johnny Harris down there in Charlotte, where I was too. And they're very, very similar in their approach to things. So you have Augusta, Quail, and Muirfield, and you watch what goes on there, and it can be an indicator of guys that are going to play well at the Masters each year.
Do you think Morikawa's pending divorce is going to hurt him this week?
Shut up.
This week,
You wish.
As long as he keeps the dog, he'll be okay.
Wow.
No, that's a running joke. I got a little hard spot for Morikawa because a couple years ago when he was leading Murfield, and I had him as a bet. He had a 3-shot lead, and he decided to withdraw from the last day. And I always make a joke because he saw me talking to his now wife, his girlfriend, and I think he got scared and decided to withdraw. But I don't blame him.
We're all scared of you talking to our
he's
girlfriends.
Not the only. That's not the only guy that's ever done that with you. So, yeah, it's okay.
No, hey, Robbie. I know you had being there at the Ohio State University Golf Club there. I know you had a lot of interaction the last few years with an up-and-coming star, Neil Shipley, that played for the Ohio State golf team. I think his, last year playing in the Masters, making the cut, and I think he's really taken advantage of some of his starts and some of the things that, the PGA Tour, Latin America, the Korn Ferry Tour has given him. Do you see anybody in this field, amateur-wise, that could maybe make, let's just say make the cut? I don't, we'll eliminate the guys that win the golf tournament as an amateur. You see anybody that maybe could have a performance that a guy like that well there from Columbus or from Ohio State, like Neil Shipley? You see anybody there on the amateur side?
It's been funny the last couple of years, like with guys like Neil and George Sargent and other stuff like that, and of course Neil having that day on Sunday with Tiger, and that has kind of trampolined him into a lot of things and opportunities, commercials and different stuff. Now I don't know that he's been playing all that great. One of the other kids, Max Moldovan, just won down in Brazil, but the cast of amateurs this year, I would actually I don't know that there's one that's going to make the cut, in my opinion.
That's a daunting task anyways for an amateur. I think first off, when you have to get over the wow factor and the awe factor of being out there first in terms of just the golf course, but still being around, guys that you've seen on TV for a long time. That's a lot to take in, and then to get on there and then concentrate on playing golf. That's certainly a daunting task for some of these amateurs going on. I thought Neil handled it great last year.
Yeah, you walk out on the driving range on Wednesday or Thursday, and you look left and right, and you start to wake up to where you're at. It can, like you say, it can be a daunting task for sure.
So that being said, Robbie, give me a couple guys that you like this week. Give me a long shot that you might, maybe get in contention. Maybe we'll see a lot this weekend. Give me two winners that you like, and give me a guy that you might think that might ruffle the feathers, shall we say, and make him a little bit of run. Maybe not win, but a name that maybe a lot of people haven't heard of that's going to be that they're going to hear of after this weekend.
Yeah, man, that's a lot of people in one question there, Johnny.
I need three. You deal with people all the time. I only need three, Robbie. I need three. Give me a winner. Oh, how about this? I'll make it easy. Just give me two. Give me two, because I know where you're at right now. Well, so just give me two. I ain't gonna bog you. So give me a winner and give me a guy.
I'm like you. I go down through these like checklists and historical data, and who's finished in the top 30 or had a major or made a cut and strokes gained and stuff. So, and I did listen to you on the fan this morning. I agreed with a couple, and then had a couple of other ideas as well.
Okay. Fight.
So in a lot of the things that I look at, I had like these 19 points where they check the box. That's a pretty good thing, right? And it could be anything from like strokes gained, made a cut prior year, scoring average, finishes this year, how far they hit it, par fives, all that stuff. Only guy who touched all 19 boxes is Rory. And it's really, like you said in your show, it's really easy to pick him, but you're not going to make any money there. But it's kind of like if he's, the last few Masters champions had 2 or 3 wins leading up to the Masters. He has that. Can he get over that mental hump, get the Grand Slam, career Grand Slam? Maybe. I don't know. You go down a layer, you're sitting on Scottie and DeChambeau. Down the next layer, you're on Cantlay and Rahm. And then I like Schauffele, Henley, Straka, Lowry. You brought up Russell Henley today, and I think that's a great, like, under the radar kind of thing. Be really cool to see him. And if you're doing top 10 bets and that kind of stuff, he's definitely a pick for that. The one name I didn't hear come up, or two names, would be Straka and Lowry. I just think both those guys have been playing really well. They've been in the hunt in a lot of events, figuring different things out. So I look for them to play well. The other one who's back, I think he's healthy, and his putting stroke with the long putter doesn't look like Zorro in a fight or trying to sign his name anymore, is Zalatoris.
That's a guy.
And it's not that hard to go down that road for him to clip one off finally too. So
yeah, my only thing with Straka, My only thing with Straka, he can't hit it far enough with the softer conditions, right? I think he's a superior ball striker. He sits on the bottom third in driving distance on the PGA Tour. That was a reason I didn't have him in our pods this week. And I really like Shane Lowry's creativity around the place. He can certainly hit it plenty far, but I just didn't like his finishes over some of the tournaments that he's had earlier in the year that he just didn't perform. The weekends, he just kind of blew up, and I didn't really like him. And maybe smaller events that the pressure didn't get to him, but he just couldn't close the deal when he had the opportunities. And it's going to be exacerbated this week if he has that opportunity. So if he couldn't close in those events, I really thought it'd be very difficult if he had an opportunity, even though he has played well there, to kind of close it out. I just didn't like his finishes at the beginning of the year. That's the only reason why I took those two guys out of the equation.
Yeah. I'll be curious to see a little bit the weather forecast has changed a touch. Maybe they get it dried out now. We'll kind of see from there. But I like guys who have second shot game and great short games. And probably the only other one I didn't mention, who, if I was going to go like a way down the list as a dark horse, and we don't get to see much because you and I, I'm not a fan of Liv, but you got to keep an eye on him a little bit. But Cam Smith, I was watching his videos today doing work around. He was doing stuff out the range, short game wise, chipping, pitching, and stuff. And like, he's got that short game aspect that can carry you through. Well, you've seen a lot of winners out there who they just basically get it up and down every time they do miss. And he could be one of those guys.
So you're saying my Brooks Koepka pick you didn't like because you didn't mention him at all?
Wow.
Well, hey, look, man, he was
really
having a good day. He was having a good day with his wife and his kids running around out there. I don't know. I just don't feel like he's been even on Live in a relaxed aspect of golf. I don't think he's been playing that well. So
isn't that what he does though in regular PGA Tour events? He doesn't seem like he does
show up and try to turn it on, but when was the last major he won?
Yeah, fair. I'm not saying you're right.
So,
I think you're wrong, but that's fair.
There have been a few majors since he was that guy.
Just 2 years ago, right?
I wouldn't mind. I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't mind seeing it, and I always root for your picks anyway. That way we can have drinks. But
that's right. We're gonna have that anyway. So win or lose, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that anyways, buddy. But hey, I know you got a busy schedule, brother. I appreciate you popping on, man. Have a great rest of your spring, man, and I'll see you in the next couple of weeks, man. I appreciate you jumping on, and have a great Masters weekend.
Oh, absolutely, man. Look forward to seeing you up here. Thank you, Timmy.
You betcha. Thank you, Rob. Appreciate your time.
All right, see you guys.
There he goes, Johnny. Rob Robinson.
Boy, he's got insight. I love his insight, man. He's been around. Right? He's been around, man. He's been in some. He's a really good golf professional. He's a really good player. He's been a golf pro at some really cool places. And I respect Rob a lot. I like his insight. And when he starts talking about golf, you could tell he knows exactly what he's talking about.
Absolutely. We always love having Rob on. I had to throw in the Go Blue. Sorry.
He didn't
care. He didn't even. He's like, whatever, man. Yeah.
Nah, he didn't. That didn't bother him.
Hears him he probably hears that all the time, and he doesn't care. Johnny, during Rob's little spiel there, we did have a bit of breaking news come across the Golf Channel as it pertains to golf in the 2028 Olympics. Statement from the International Golf Federation. The International Golf Federation is thrilled with the IOC Executive Board's decision to approve the addition of a mixed team event to the Golf Olympic program. We look forward to sharing more details next week. So basically, you're going to have individual events already. We already knew that in the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics. But now they are adding a mixed team event. So you're going to have men and women on a team competing against it, which I applaud that. Like, how did we not already have that? Right? Like,
absolutely.
I don't know how we didn't already have that, but dude, anything to trick up golf in the Olympics and make it not just golf, I'm all for.
Well, listen, it's a no-brainer decision. If you can put breakdancing in the Olympics, come on, man.
Ballroom dancing was an Olympic sport, Johnny. Ballroom dancing.
Give me a break.
And I took ballroom dance lessons.
Oh, okay? I thought you was going to say you took breakdancing.
Oh, I didn't have to take breakdance lessons. I taught breakdance lessons.
That was
in the
innate.
80s.
Yeah, that was innate. From the mean streets of Little Elm, or
I was in the colony, buddy.
The mean streets of the colony.
They were mean streets of the colony because at the time we were so far away from everybody else. We didn't border Plano or Louisville yet. We were by ourselves. We had to fight for ourselves and our breakdancing.
You're like Malibu Most Wanted. B. Rad Gluckman, the rough streets of Malibu.
At least I'm not Robbie Van Winkle, who claims to be from Miami when he grew up in Farmers Branch.
Yeah. And for y'all don't know that is Vanilla Ice. That's
I went to high
Ice.
school with him in Carrollton. I know who. Yeah, exactly.
And the young people that don't
basketball too.
And I appreciate y'all young people that do watch the show, but Vanilla Ice may be way past your. But he was. I mean, you could say
rolling in my 5.0.
No matter what you say, loving, hating, there's no one in the world that didn't love that song. And if you didn't love it,
I still love it.
If you didn't love it, you're a liar. You are 100%.
I was never a fan of Robbie in high school, and when we played pickup ball at Roquan Park in Carrollton, because he just was bad. But when that song came out, dude, I loved that song. I didn't care that it was him. I thought it was great. And you know what? He's made a name for himself now in the TV renovation world.
Yeah.
Where he's doing stuff on Discover or whatever, Home and whatever it's called, network.
Good for him. How many people like in that realm that was that?
Yeah.
I mean, you got to realize he's probably one of the top 3 or 4 most famous people in the world for a stretch. I mean, think about that. How many people have you seen through that? That's just you never see again. Now he's kind of pivoted and recreated himself, and he's actually really funny.
By the way, we got to give a shout out to our buddy ET Eric Todd. If I could have driven it like Gerbs or Rob, I'd have gotten 2 green jackets. I'd have paid to watch you win a green jacket, but that's not his best line of the night.
Is green jackets? That means you work at that's Bennigan's jacket.
His best line. This is no more. His best line of the day. And by the way, ET, how dare you, sir, bring my future ex-wife into this? I'm moving to Uruguay with Paige Sporonic -Ham to get dual citizenship and play in the 28 mixed games. First of all, sir, me and Paige, we already got a thing going, so you can't do that. But you're welcome to move to Uruguay. I'm sure you could be on Uruguay Fire, Uruguay Police, Uruguay. What's the other one that they do? The Uruguay Waste Management,
Chicago Med.
What is
Uruguay
it?
Med.
So, by the way, for all of you out there that don't know that ET is a world famous actor like we do, Eric Todd is frequently seen on Chicago Fire, Chicago Med, and what's the other one? Is it called Chicago PD?
Anything Chicago.
I'm sorry, ET. I don't watch those shows, but I know that you're on them, and I applaud you for it. You were supposed to be on with us today, by the way. That's on you.
He bumped us for greener pastures.
That's fine. He's probably got a date with Paige or something.
He had to be on. He had to be on set.
Idiot.
He tried. He said he was going to text, and he sent me a text. He said, "I'll try to get on," but we got bumped. Can you believe that?
No, I can believe it. Yeah,
no one bumps us
because he's Eric Todd. He bumps us because we're nobody. You know what? I can right now make a phone call. I could get Brooks Koepka on the phone. I could get Max Homa on. I could get John Daly on the phone. But you know what? I can't get ET on the phone.
He's the only person that I trust that has 2 first names. That's it.
Oh yeah, but does he drink?
Oh yeah.
Exactly. That's why you can trust him.
That's
Never
right.
trust someone who doesn't drink.
One of my greatest friends in the world. We've been through some stuff we can't tell on the air. But don't ever bump us again, ET. Don't ever bump us.
So by the way, those people that are out there and they post on Facebook or X or wherever, I'm 278 days sober. Do you know what I reply to all of those people, even if I don't know them? I'll drink to that.
Yeah.
Because I don't trust you.
No.
I'm sorry. I'm glad that you're happy with your life. But I don't trust you. But good for you. Johnny, it is time. It is time for the winning picks. It is time for everybody to make some money here on From the Rough on FanStream Sports, because it is Masters Week. It is the week everyone pays the most attention to. And you wanted me to make picks, Johnny, so I've got some picks for you that I've been trying to throw together here on the fly during the show as I board up, as I produce, as I do phones, as I drink. By the way, that's almost gone. All the ice is melted. After my 4 shots of Jaeger and my John Daly seltzer. But I'm ready for the Colby Sapp and IndyCarTim show at 7:00 Central. By the way, you guys make sure you tune in for
Sounds
that
like
on
it.
FanStream Sports. Hiccup. So let me give you some picks, Johnny. You want my winner? I will give you a winner.
I want all 3 like you normally do. All 3 losers.
All right. I will give you a winner, and I'll give you my top 10. I think it's the best I can do right now on the fly.
Okay.
Let me give you my top 10 first. He's a 2018 champion. He's rattled off 3 top 10 finishes in his last 4 starts worldwide. But he's on that live golf thing.
Pitbull. You said Mr. Worldwide. Pitbull.
It is. I don't know what that means. Those words that you just said.
Oh, okay.
Give me Patrick Reed, top 10. Even though he's a live guy.
Doesn't bother me.
I'll give him Patrick Reed, my top 10. He's improved from what I've read about my live golf brother off the tee this year. He had some issues early in the season. But, you know, they don't play real golf over there, so I'm always hesitant to pick a live golf guy. And, Johnny, you want my winner?
Sure.
It's a guy that you know him well because he's been on your card, not for here. How about, and he is a long shot, he is a 60-1 right now. Johnny, bring me the head of Robert McIntyre.
Bobby Mack, first out the limo.
Mack.
Wow, you'd love another southpaw going in there. That'll be the 3rd southpaw. I don't hate it.
Really?
I don't hate it.
Wow.
Normally, I hate everything about your picks, especially when we pick the same people. But I don't hate it because I don't have any of those 2 guys on here.
Wow. Well, yeah,
So
I didn't want to cross-pollinate.
I'm loving this
We
week.
didn't have to be Eskimo brothers again like we are every week.
Loving this week. Loving.
All right.
Loving
Well, that said, it is time now for everyone to pay close attention. It is time for everyone to sit down, buckle up, put your earphones in, turn the volume up all the way, because it's time for everybody to make a little bit of money with Johnny's winning picks.
Man, what a Masters week. Masters week.
I got to put it on the screen, don't I?
Well, we got to get a new producer around here. I mean, it's Matt. I'll give you a pass this week because I know how excited you are for the Masters. Are you going to talk Masters next? The next show, Colby Sapp, IndyCarTim.
You know what? I don't know what we're talking about because we haven't even done a show sheet yet, and we're on the air in an hour.
Ask C-Man to watch a little bit of the Masters this week. It is a sport. You do have a sports show.
Oh, he loves golf. Yeah, he loves golf.
Get some picks from him. We're going to be watching. We'll blast that out, and we'll see how we all do. But we all know who's gonna prevail here, right? My picks. This is just what we're doing.
Yeah,
man. Is this not a perfect spot for Brooks Koepka at 30-1?
I like it a lot. I like it a lot.
The guy is there. He's not doing press conferences. He does one because everyone has to do one to Masters.
His wife is hot.
Man, I love this. Just reminds me of a perfect spot for Brooks Koepka. He's going in to prove something. I think he's inching his way, try to get back to the PGA Tour. He doesn't give it. He doesn't care about live golf, how he plays at live golf, just like he didn't really care that much when he was playing the PGA Tour and regular PGA Tour events.
When it wasn't a major, yeah, he didn't care.
Perfect spot for him. I love it. I know he's healthy. 30-1. I love the spot. Your boy, Jordan Spieth, 35-1.
Hand herpes.
He can have it. Listen, he's got 2 hands, so he's good. I don't care. He only needs 1 hand to chip and putt around this place. His success is unprecedented. I love the form that he's coming into. Everything about this week speaks Jordan Spieth. 35-1, great value. Loving him in this spot. Here's a guy that really can win the golf tournament. I mean, all these guys can win. I feel really confident about Russell Henley. 40-1, Russell Henley, extreme value. He always plays well there. I don't know if he's ever missed the cut at Augusta.
Jordan Spieth?
Really don't know. No, Russell Henley.
I don't know Russell Henley.
He always plays well. Coming into the best form that he has had going into Augusta, he ranks sixth in all-around strokes gain. That's putting, strokes gain to the green, driving. Georgia guy. Loved Russell Henley at 40-1.
Have you ever seen Russell Henley's wife?
No. Does he? No.
Huh.
Have you?
I just did.
Okay, well, put it on the screen afterwards. But ham sandwich pick this week, Willie Z, 60-1. Hey, he's fixed his woogie boogies with that putter. I mean, that thing was a tilt-a-whirl going all over the place. It was like a kite going back there. Yeah, it was like a kite going back there, man. It was all messed up. But he hits the ball high. He shapes the ball well. I think he's finally healthy. He's got his, like I said, he's got his body healthy. He's added some length. Love Will Zalatoris at 60-1. 2 top 10 picks this week, as always. The Ryder Cup captain, Keegan Bradley at plus 650. I think he's got a stretch here between the Masters and the U.S. Open. He's really going to be focused on playing golf. After the U.S. Open, after the major season, he's going to be focused on being the Ryder Cup captain. I think he's got a stretch here. Listen, Keegan Bradley's not going to play well and pick himself for the Ryder Cup. He's not doing that. But he's had good success here. He has all the attributes to play well. He hits the ball high. He hits the ball far. Chips and putt it pretty good, and he's not scared of the moment. 650, good value. Keegan Bradley, top 10. Another guy that fits that category, Adam Scott, plus 775. Again, he has a window of about another year, year and a half to really play some really good golf. Past winner, he has the hit. Vijay Singh and Adam Scott's the only two guys with the long stick, and Willie Zalatoris, maybe if he has a potential to win, it's going to be the only two guys that's put with a long putter to win the Masters. Adam Scott has the credentials, has the course knowledge, and is healthy. I mean, the guy still wants to play some golf. I think he has some good years. He self-admittingly is like, listen, I know I only got a year and a half, 2 years left of really good golf. I'm putting everything I have into these next two years to have success. I love him at plus 775. 2 top 20 picks this week. Justin Rose at plus 250. I would have picked him to win probably the golf tournament if I didn't watch him shank the ball all over the place in Houston. Was Houston? I mean, and San Antonio.
San Antonio, yeah.
I mean, tubed it. I mean, he had to get a new 8-iron because I think he broke the ferrule off that thing in the hosel. He tubed it twice, and that scared me a little bit. But his track record around here at Augusta is fantastic. He always seems to play well. But you look at when he did have a bad hole in San Antonio, he made a birdie right after he hit it off the tee. So his mental fortitude is great. I love him in this spot at plus 250. Listen, the top 20s don't have you're not going to make a lot of money because it's a shortened field.
So Justin Rose and I have something in common then.
You hit it off the tube a lot.
We both had bad holes in San Antonio.
Well, next show, please. That would be great. Thank you. You know, Nancy Gerber and Jerome is watching. So there you go. Last pick, finally, before Tim starts talking about other holes, is Lucas Glover at plus 330. Listen, he's taken a couple weeks off. I think he's had one of the best beginning of the season that Lucas Glover's had in his PGA Tour career. I think he's going to try to make a run over this stretch to get on that Ryder Cup team. Look at a good pick for Lucas Glover to get on. I think the team is going to be young. He won the U.S. Open at Bethpage.
Oh.
Bethpage is at the Ryder Cup is at Bethpage. I think he's going to make a push to get on that Ryder Cup team. If he's not, I know he's pretty close to those points already. I think he'll get a pick. I think the team's going to be young. I think they're going to need a guy like Lucas Glover. And I think how he's been playing, solid as he's been playing. I like how he played at Valspar. That's a very demanding driving golf course. I like how he played there. Rested a couple weeks off. I love Lucas Glover at this spot as far and as much as he shapes the ball right to left. Plus 330, great value on Lucas Glover. This is our winners this week. Masters week, guys. Love everything about it. Tim's going to be up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Well, be up because he's just probably going to be coming in.
I'll roll. I'll just still stay awake. Yeah.
He's going to be up. Great week. Please, everybody, enjoy the Masters. One of the greatest weeks in sports that you're going to have. So listen, we're going to be jumping on. We're going to have matchups. Matchup is 21-5-3. We are plus 2460 for the year after our win with Min Woo Lee a couple weeks ago, and the win that I'm going to take his sister out. That was the bet I had with him once he won in Houston. So I'm looking forward to that. So that's another winner for me. I didn't add that to the screen. There we have it. It looks like a match made in heaven, doesn't it? So that is perfect. So, hey, listen, everybody, enjoy the coverage. Enjoy the week. again, the Masters is special to everybody. That is not a winner, that picture, but the winner with Bucket Timm that we're going to be having back here in a couple of weeks when we get to terrorize Kansas City again is going to be another epic performance. But again, there we go. Basket head. Enjoy the week, guys. That's going to be do it for us, but look forward to giving up some matchups this week.
So Johnny, Russell Henley's wife, and you tell me, look, you're the noted marriage expert. If the wife and the husband don't have the same last name, isn't that a sign that the wife is not fully committed?
No.
Okay, no, well, it is. Okay, I will tell you, as a guy that's been married 3 times, I know a lot about women. So Teal Duncan is Russell Henley's wife. And you don't like blonde-haired, blue-eyed girls, but I do.
Okay.
And that right there is something special. And I don't know what Russell does with her, for her, to her, but whatever it is, I promise I can do better. I'm going to put the call out to Teal Duncan and say, sup, girl.
So you're going to be the new Dustin Johnson on the PGA Tour. You're just going to mess. I mean, you got Davis Thompson. You got her. Who's next? Who's next?
I don't know. Who do you like? I'll go take her too. Besides look, I won't touch Collins' girl because that's you. Look, I'll give you.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you.
I will allow. Like
you have
that.
a choice.
Like
you have a choice
with that.
Yeah, you have a choice. Thank you. Thanks for that. Thanks for giving me one. Thanks. That's great.
And then you and I afterwards will go boating.
Perfect.
You guys make sure you follow along for the matchups this week, as Johnny mentioned. Saturday morning early, we will post those all across social media. I am at IndyCarTim. He is at J Gerber PGA Pro. The network is at FanStream DFW. And then, of course, the show is at From the Rough PGA. It's going to be all over X, Facebook, Instagram. I don't know what else. Facebook, I guess. We put it on there as well. And if I can talk Johnny into it, and if I am not, we'll say 2 sheets to the wind, because I won't be 3, I might be 2 Friday night. If I can talk Johnny into it Saturday morning, we might do a quick hits show live here on FanStream Sports to discuss his matchups. We haven't discussed this off the air. I'm throwing this at him totally fresh, as the kids say, but we'll see, because he always wants to be the one to do a Saturday show. And it's the Masters. It's the 89th Masters. If we were ever going to do one, it might be this week. So y'all stay tuned for that, but look for us. Just follow along on social media. We'll get all of the matchups to you as well to make you some money over the weekend, because that's what Johnny does. And then, of course, I don't know what his schedule is Monday, but at the very least, I will be back with an 89th Masters recap. Probably won't be a 2-hour show when I'm by myself, but for the Masters, it might be an hour. And I normally only do like 30 to 45 minutes when I'm by myself.
Where am I at Monday? Well, this was Saturday. I'll be in Kansas City. Monday, I will be in, where am I at Monday?
Bogota, Colombia.
Maybe.
All right. Maybe playing some golf.
Where am I? I'm flying somewhere Monday. Where am I at Monday?
I don't know. I don't know where you are even after you tell me where you are.
I thought you're my agent. I thought you were booking all my stuff.
Oh, well, then you were way wrong, sir, because I don't even know where I'm going to be. How would I know where you're going to be? That's ridiculous. But look for all of that. Look for Johnny's matchups. If you need a recap of Johnny's picks, you can go find it on social media. We post it every Wednesday morning on X, Facebook, Threads, Blue Sky, Instagram, and all of that stuff for you guys. So you have plenty of time. And, we still have another, we have 12 hours. I'm sorry. We have 10 hours before tee times, teeing off for the 89th Masters. I will be up early, or I will just stay up depending on which way it goes tonight after the Colby Sapp and IndyCarTim show. I never know until it happens.
If anybody wants to wager, he'll be coming in. So that's the lock of the year right there.
This is the lock of the year right there. What are the odds? Like, you're just going to be like minus 270, right? How drunk are you? We will do it all again on Monday to recap the 89th Masters, boys and girls. Make sure you look again for the matchups this week. We want to make you some money. Until Monday, enjoy the Masters. Enjoy all of the golf from the greatest venue on the planet that you have for 4 rounds including some of the live golf guys that you don't get to see because they're all together once again, reunited because it feels so good. I'm Tim. That's Johnny. Until next time, boys and girls, y'all keep hitting them straight.
Hello, sports fan.